What is up, Freedom Inc. family? So I was thinking this morning about a topic, and I think that it's a good enough topic that I shall make a video about it. As most of you know, I have moved out to the middle of God's country, literally to the middle of nowhere, where people don't bother you, and for the most part, people down here, they really don't care what you do. Now, from what I've heard and then my experience in the short time that I've been here, people don't want to work. Like, even business owners do not want to work. I don't know if this is playing that big of a part in what we see going on. I guess it could be. I don't think there's any more jobs available now than there was, pre-COVID. I don't think there's like this big worker shortage they're talking about. I guess there really could be, but I don't know. Joe Biden is getting ready to make an announcement to the country on Tuesday, supposedly about Omicron. What do you think is going to be said? We're going to mandate this. We're going to mandate that. We're going to put checkpoints at state borders or at your town, city limits, or your city's limits. Town limits, city limits, whatever limits. Who knows? Who really gives a shit? What I do know is that this has been the longest 2 weeks of my life. If you remember back in the beginning of this, it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve. And everybody was pretty much on board because we all believed the bullshit. You know what I mean? Even I did. Man, listen, I was the first dude at the store smiling underneath my damn N95 mask and my gloves because nobody else had them. Bitches. Fuck you all. I prepared, right? And then about a week later, I was like, wait a second here. I'll tell you what the first thing that hit me was, and I don't even think I ever said this to anybody. The first thing that made me question what was going on was the fact that we were getting all these videos from China. A little weird, right? Especially since, I'm pretty sure, maybe I'm slipping here, but Chinese, their government doesn't allow them on YouTube as far as I know. Surely to God they're not going to let them put out anything that would make the old CCP look bad. But yeah, maybe. Okay, so there was a reporter over there and he was sneaking out all these videos. But then I was looking around, I was like, wait a second. Ain't nobody dropping dead like they said was going to be happening. There's no bodies laying in the streets, cars off the side of the road, motherfuckers died just driving down the road. Sorry to cuss, is what it is. But I didn't see a difference in anything going on other than government screwing shit up. And people listening. Government saying jump, and people's like, how high, massa? How high would you like me to jump today? And because of the compliance, there was, more and more bullshit. The 2 weeks turned into 3 weeks. That turned into, well, hey, we're just going to do it for another 30 days. And, that another 30 days. So, hey, we're just going to do it for another 90 days. And here we are over 2 years later. And everybody just keeps going on with their life like nothing's changed. Nobody's mad. Your government flat out stole 2 years of your life. I don't care how you look at it or who you are, unless you're one of these essential people that's essential for everything. So essential, in fact, that you chose to be a doctor. A doctor. You're going to be dealing with tuberculosis, AIDS, heart patients, people with broken legs, whatever it may be. But it's, there is a chance that some pandemic could happen. You probably know that. I'm only guessing here. This is just a guess. Never been through medical school. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure somewhere in medical school they're like, hey, you might be within, contact distance of some shit that will kill you in your lifetime as a doctor. Are you sure that you want to do this? Just a hunch, but I bet something to that effect is said or implied. Whatever, you should know. Are we going to start giving snowplow drivers bonuses because they're essential and they work through the damn whiteout. I mean, like, it just doesn't make sense to me. That wasn't a very good example, but it just doesn't make sense to me. And then this money is coming from who? You. More government saying, hey, well, let's write some blank checks. Them and their friends get together and like, hey, if we give all this money away, then we can extort the shit out of these other people over here, and we can make about 10% off the top. You in? I give you 12%. All right, sign right here. So I mean, if me and some of my friends get together and I write down on the piece of paper, Larkin Rose did a video about this years ago. Somebody actually just sent it to me recently. And if I write on that piece of paper and it says, me and my friends can rob you, and then we sign it, does that make it okay? No, it doesn't make it okay. And it doesn't make it okay. I mean, government doesn't have any authority over the people, and you all, not you all, but you all, keep just shoveling this shit to them. Just here you go, here's some more of our, here's what little bit of the illusion of power that we have left. Just take that shit too. Just, in fact, can we just get the ball and chains? I mean, can you just send us the ball and chains to the house? We'll come pick them up. I need a 2XL, a medium, a medium, and another medium. I mean, I moved to the middle of nowhere, and the pigs are the same here as they are everywhere else. And people are caught in their little zone. So like, I used to live in Forest Park, Ohio. Most people like are caught in that. Even though they watch the local or national news, they're still stuck at home. So like, if on national news you see that Joe Schmo was unarmed, got shot by the cops, you're like, oh shit, one guy got shot by the cops, but you're in Forest Park, so you're still like in your little box. And when you think of it like that, it's like, I don't know Joe Schmo. Nobody cares until they're Joe Schmo. When they watch the local news, though, they're still in that little box, and they see all these other things happening. The world is such a big place that you are so used to that little box, you don't really look outside that box. As long as it's not happening in your box, it doesn't matter. And then if it does happen in your box, you will make an even smaller box. So it happened on Joseph Street. Well, I'm on Harkin. It don't affect me over there. I've said it before. If you live on a street with 20 homes, and the pigs came and started kicking in doors, it started at the first door and went to the second, what you would have is, when they went to the first door, you would have 19 videos uploaded to YouTube of these cops doing this shit, kicking in a door without a warrant. And 5 minutes later, you would then have 18 more videos uploaded. And when they got to the next house, you'd have 17 videos uploaded. And when you got to the next house, you'd have 60. People would just sit there and watch. I mean, I've seen it. See some badged thug, and that's all these fucking cops are, do some horrendous shit. Now, whatever Joe Biden has to say on Tuesday, they announced it, 2 weeks early? Whatever he has to say on Tuesday is going to be enforced by those same pigs, the same road pirates that sit out and bust your ass for doing 69 and a 65. The same ones who show up at your house for a welfare check and kill you. Happened, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. The same ones who extort you, not only for government now, but they also aid their buddies in extorting you, who are, come to find out, aside from the situation at hand, are business owners on the side together. They own a business together. What do you think? What do you think the men who founded this country fought against? They fought against the enforcement of the rule, not the rule. The rule doesn't matter if there's nobody to enforce it, because the rule would never be made. If you have a king, okay, and he doesn't have enforcers, enforcers also equal protectors if they're your enforcers. If you pay the enforcers are going to protect you. Nobody sees that side of it. But if a king has no enforcers and he creates a law and says, there's a mandatory 15% tax, or else. 1, 2 people, maybe 3. I mean, we draw on straws to see who's going to go fuck him up and let him know that ain't shit going to happen, because there's nobody to enforce it. And if he thinks he can do that to the people, then the people might ought to put him up against, or let him face the repercussions for his, for making that second mistake of writing that law. First mistake would have been thinking about it. They would be afraid to oppress you if their enforcers didn't protect them and follow their every beck and call, or their every demand. And until people wake up and see that, it doesn't matter. This Omicron shit don't matter. The COVID shit don't matter. It doesn't matter that I moved to the middle of nowhere, because eventually the middle of nowhere is not going to be enough. They're going to come. And the only way that we, as people who just want to be left alone to live our lives, are going to make it is together. And I don't mean together like we have similar mindsets and we all just want to be left alone, and you live in Maine and I live in where I live. That won't work. I mean, like, if you can't be here right now when there's a problem, then you're not a part of the solution to the problem. You're not going to be. We're watching them not only screw up the rest of our lives, so every day, you're never going to get these days back. It's not like government says, hey, once you die, we owe you a couple years, bro, so we got you. Just call this 800 number when you fall over, and we'll tack on another 2 years. That way you can go ahead and start saving for your coffin and shit if you ain't already got that stuff paid for. It's not going to happen. These people are not only stealing your life, but your kids' futures. The illusion of freedom isn't enough. It's not enough for me. It's not enough for you, and it sure as shit is not enough for my kids. And at some point, people have to say that it's just enough. Government doesn't get to dictate what physical property you can or cannot own. If you worked for it, it's yours. More power to you. I don't care what it is. I don't care how dangerous you could possibly be with it. Because, that's where we're at. I should make a second video about this. I'm going to go ahead and ramble on though. But that's where we're at in this country. It doesn't matter what you do. It's what you could potentially do. That's where we're at. In a country as free as this country. That we have DUI laws. I use that as an example. If you don't hurt nobody, who's the victim? If you jump in a car and drive, but you hurt no one getting home, where's the victim? There has to be a victim in order for there to be a crime. And if you notice, I don't know how many people's been charged with crimes, but when you're charged with a crime, even if it's a business or if it's a business or an individual, it doesn't say, Ida Reed versus Freedom Inc. It says the state of versus Freedom Inc. The state is prosecuting you for breaking their rules because they believe they have the authority over you to make those rules and then make you comply with those rules. And if you don't, they will, they threaten you with force and violence. Well, threats and then violence. And they don't care to, you have some guy sitting in some office that has multiple levels of goons underneath of him. Yeah, go ahead. Go do that thing. And then it goes down the ladder, and the lowest goon on the totem pole goes and does it. And not only does he enjoy doing it, he gets a pat on the back for it. He gets promoted for it. They are incentivized to oppress you. That's their whole jobs. There's this belief, well, they took an oath. Their oath is to the state. It's not to the Constitution. If it was, the fact they're holding that position violates that oath. Now, for years, I've been telling people to cite where in the Constitution that the people gave government complete authority over said people. You can't do it because it doesn't exist. Government is supposed to be, for the most part, completely separate from society. But we've bought into that. They've perfected the indoctrination. Is what's happened. This isn't the first time this has happened. You're not seeing anything today that hasn't happened throughout history. But they perfected it this time. They had the people beg for their own oppression, support the very thugs that oppress them, so much so they even send them money. And these pricks even had the gall to call. I got called 3 weeks ago for some state trooper thing wanting money. he wasn't happy with what I said to him. I can't say it on here because we're so free and shit that we can't even talk. The new public square, it's censored. And just get ready, because it's coming. They're doing it slow, methodical. I mean, look how much has happened in 2 years. Those death by 1,000 cuts, they're now taking limbs. And we're just like, I have another hand. I have another arm. I have a leg. And just watching this shit happen. As they're just cutting our freedom out from under us. You're a slave, man. You work half of your life to pay taxes. Well, no, I don't, freedom. I make $1,000 a week, and they only take out $389. So really, no, it's not half. Okay, then include all the other taxes. If you live in certain states, there's taxes on food, gasoline tax. That's a big one right there. Look at what they're doing to manipulate that shit. We're energy independent for years. Don't know how much the president of the United States has to do with the oil industry. I mean, I don't know if he makes decisions directly for them or how that goes. I'm sure it's the same thing as the politicians and the lobby and shit. Here's some money, sign this piece of paper. But we were energy independent, and now we're having to buy our energy. And these fuckers get on TV smiling and have a whole press conference when the price drops 4 cents. Like we're supposed to do backflips. And people do that's the funny thing. There's a small minority of people that will do backflips over 4 cents. I'm to the point now, I don't even, and it's not because I can afford it, because I can't. I don't even look at the price anymore because I don't even want to get pissed off. You're sitting there pumping $3.69 a gallon of diesel fuel, knowing damn well, like, wait a second here. Isn't diesel fuel lightweight a byproduct of gasoline, just with some additives and stuff like that? Byproduct of making gasoline. I don't know the exact specifics. I know it's not a direct byproduct, but I know they make it for basically damn free, and then they charge you more for the diesel fuel than they do the gasoline that they originally made. It's greed and power and money, man. It's about people who, this country was intended for a moral man that just wants to live his life and raise his family. And you have none of that in government. You have people who put power and money above all else. If you can't put the person beside you above yourself, if you can't put the 330 million people plus the 60 million or 70 million illegals that you're supposed to represent above yourself and your son, then you don't need to be in that position. There's some famous YouTubers running for office now. Our favorite fairy zombie. Zombie fairy's running for something. I don't even know. I forget now. But he's the only constitutional candidate who is the deputy sheriff, which is an unconstitutional position. Don't know how that works, but whatever. That's what he says, not me. His words, his sign. Then you have Chad. I don't particularly. I don't know. It's not that I don't like the dude. I don't like people with his attitude. From North Country Off Grid. That's what it is. I don't really watch him. He is running for a representative seat in his state. Now, when it comes to fuckhead, over here in Fairyland, Tennessee, he'll take whatever money's offered to him. Chad, I don't think he will. I think that if he was to get in office, he would do good. The problem is when there's so much evil, the good can't fight it. One good can't fight 100 evil. It takes 200 good to fight 100 evil. Evil's strong, evil's powerful. We see it. And the only thing it takes for evil to win is for good men to do nothing. And look around you. And the problem with this is that the longer this goes on, the worse it's going to be if people ever do decide to say enough's enough. Your government's proven to you right now that all of our founding documents don't mean shit without you standing up. They don't mean a damn thing. Nothing. Well, people need to recognize the protections in the Constitution that are the protections that the Constitution gives them. Yeah, you're a dumbass. Enforcement people. Why do you think they don't want militias and shit in this country? They don't want you to have any kind of force that can fight, any kind of organized force that can fight them. That's why they created all the laws that surround them and protect them. If you just went through and started reading the laws, whether it be state or federal, you will see these laws protect a certain class of individuals. Most laws stemmed from these people trying to protect themselves. And they do it through, or else. You will do as we say, or else, peasant. Oh, you ain't going to do what we say? Then they beat you down and they kidnap you. Then they lock you up for years after planting some evidence, of course. That's always a happen. They find something on your kid's computer or your computer. There's always the I don't really buy the child porn thing anymore. Now, there are a bunch of evil-ass sexual predators in this top class, this top elite, that we found out the FBI has not done anything about it, even though they knew something about it. So, these people have went full steam ahead to where they're now touching kids and shit. They're not just looking at kids on the computer. Not that I agree with that anyway. But that's, it's awfully strange that they always find something, and it's not strange, because I even know they will find what they're looking for no matter what it is, because if it's not there, they will put it there. Just want to be left alone. I just want to live, and I haven't. I'm 40 years old, and I feel like I haven't got to live a day of my life, because of the unconstitutional restrictions that have been placed on me by a force that I cannot defeat alone.